she freak out? Freak out.
I can do anything. Okay, but what do I really want? Give me a really big dick.
Ouch! Not that big, obviously. Just dick, return to the old size. Says she freak out.
Have you heard about the new dance craze? Listen to us, I'm sure you'll be amazed.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end.
Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Hope you're having a great day. Today we're gonna look at a really great question that came from a patron. I had this happen to me when I first found Neville Goddard, and when I found Neville Goddard, I had already read Eugene Baron Furson's book, and I was starting to dig into it, and had found Dr. Murphy, but I had read Dr. Murphy very briefly. I didn't read his whole book. I actually read his book on magic, and then I went and found Neville Goddard. And Neville Goddard talks about how to flip states of consciousness by using your imagination. And there's a lot of people who get the complete reader and read it, and if they understand he built up his sense perceptions and practiced that a lot, and these were the things he was teaching, which are the same things that the Hindu teachings, like a Course in Miracles kind of thing, teaches you is first realize there's no thing, and then just look at something and appreciate it, and focus all your attention on it. And Baron Eugene Furson would say, and have a feeling of appreciation and happiness. And this is where everybody gets all wacky. But Jesus says it very well. And I really mean this quite literally. It's that feeling when a little child helps you stand up after you fell down and says, "Let me kiss your boo-boo," and make it all better. That feeling when your cat or dog has come up to you and wants your attention, and you just, love them. That's what I mean by love them. You're not being over excessive or anything else. You're just noticing their fur and how beautiful and abundant it is, and how rich, and their skin, and it's perfect skin, and it doesn't matter if it has that wart or whatever. It's perfect. My dog is perfect. My dog is the perfect dog. My dog has the perfect body. It's that old, hot fuzz. My perfect Sunday.
Quick word. Mr. Messenger, a statement will be issued shortly.
Actually, I just wanted to ask, what's your perfect Sunday?
I'll deal with the press, Sergeant. Now, my perfect Sunday is a lovely long...
And it's that, my perfect day, and you have that feeling of that love and appreciation. So to clarify, patron had asked this question, and she's saying, I've read lots of stories that as soon as people hear it's your thoughts that create a lot, get anxious and panic. And they flip them, trying to remain positive. And it sounds like a never-ending and unnecessary struggle because we have thoughts all day, a majority not even aware of, so they're not what manifests. It's the feeling, the story we give to that thought, right? And yes, the idea is, God's going to work within your belief system. So he knows you're in the 21st century, on earth. And this is, he knows he's in everyone and everything. He's infinite intelligence and wisdom, okay, and love. He is spirit. He's divine spirit, right? And he fills the forms we shape with our imaginations and words. So you make the forms. Well, how do the forms get made? Well, God presents you something. He's presenting all these thoughts all day long. You're right. You're not going to necessarily pick up on every thought. And science has told you that, you're getting a million things thrown at you and only a few are being collected. Okay. And these are the things you've already made a story about, or, it's part of the background story that you're here, And what Neville Goddard is trying to get clear was just because you're in a state of poverty doesn't mean you have to remain in a state of poverty. You can flip it by imagining a state of wealth, okay, for example. And then he would give an example, and people get lost in the details, okay? They like that, so that they do it for something that doesn't really matter to them, and it works, like the ladder exercise. Okay, and for me, that was an eye-opener, and so I started digging, like we all do, right? Dig, 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 dig. Go dig, 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 go dig, 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 we dig the whole day through. And you dig into it, and you dive in, and you're, oh my gosh, you discover this whole new world going on, and then you realize it's been that way all along. Okay, only good can happen to you. Death is not authorized. All right. If death happens, then that was wrong-headed thinking by men, and it's being acted out. All right. No one really dies because divine substance does not die. Now, science takes the feeling out, and you just look at it. Step back and look at it. See it for what it is. Appreciate it for what it is. That feeling of the little child kissing your baby. That feeling of Belle doesn't care if he's a beast. She loves him and she will stay with him. Please let him be alive. That feeling that the princess has. Oh, please, he's really a prince. He's not a frog. He's great. I love my frog. I don't care if he's a frog forever. I don't care. Let me have my frog. Please and he becomes the prince. That's what it's about. Don't see the ugly, okay? And what Neville Goddard would say is insist it's this way. But that's what that feeling in the background, okay? And that's what he was trying to get across. Okay, so you don't think, the thought is given to you. Here's a car, here's these cars, you need transportation, here's all these cars, and you find one that just catches your fancy, one that you like, okay? Oh yeah, I love that, I love that. So now you just appreciate it. And that is putting it on its heart for the good thing that it is. It's just a beautiful work of art. Of course, it's not as beautiful as the real sky. And that's what you give most of your attention to. And you're not worshiping nature, you're worshiping the one who made it. And to worship means giving your unconditional attention, your unconditional love. And that means it doesn't matter what it looks like. I love my body, warts and all. I love how it does everything it needs to do. It's a beautiful body. It's perfect. It has trillions of cells constantly evolving and revolving and moving in and out and recycling, and it's perfect. I love it. I never want to stop it. I always want it to keep flowing. I love you, body. You know, you are now grown up. You don't need a state. But people in a lower consciousness who cannot attain to the state of love and grace, they're back there trying to get their desires. Okay, so it's like, you know, and anyone who comes to these who wasn't really aware of them feels this way. Okay, it's like a deer in the headlights. You're suddenly, oh shit, what have I been thinking? Can I even read a book again? Can I watch a movie? You know, oh my Lord, you know, and you have to dig through that. Okay, and this is what the Bible's saying. Don't worry about all that. Go here. Just go here. Just go appreciate God. Give it to the Christ within, the substance within you, that universal life force, God, infinite intelligence. It is the spirit of love and wisdom. I hand this over to you, God, Christ, whatever it is that you call it. You know, doesn't matter if you call it Odin or Zeus, if you sincerely mean it. Okay? But you don't. I say the universe is doing it. It's not a statue doing it. It's not a plant doing it. That is a manifestation just like this body. Okay? So people they get, oh my gosh. And so it forces them to dig into it deeper because they're like a deer in the headlights. You know, what do I do now? How do I stop my feelings? What is it? And that's what these videos are all about. You're going to be presented something, okay, and that you've thought about. You didn't necessarily say it out loud or anything else, you know, but you're tired of driving the bus or whatever, and you wish you had your own car. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, I would like that. I would like to have my own car. There you go. Okay. A car's been zipping by. One caught your fancy. You're riding the bus. Now you're wishing you could have your own car like that one you just saw. You're not trying to take it from anybody. You just want one like that or better, you know, and it's all good. You know, I would love that. I would drive down the Pacific Highway. I think I would drive across America. That would be great, you know, and then you get up, you're at your stop, and you go to work. All right? And go deal with your day. Your manifestation has now been set and it's coming. Don't think about it. And depending on your state of consciousness determines, you know, whether it comes or not. All right? So if you have very little ego and you just came into this, then you're going to kind of freak out. You are. Okay? Because there's one thing that really chaps your ass. And other than that, you've really been the Christ. Except for judging others. Okay? And even that, you didn't really do. You're judging the politicians. Okay? And that's narrowing it down And this is where it gets really wanky, you know, because non-governmental agencies are really governmental agencies. They want to tell governments what to do. Okay. They're putting themselves above them. Okay. And it's the people that determine this. So when you have a large group of people that are very concerned about the government and the politics, you know, this is how it manifests. You're not supposed to worry about it, politician. We already have. We voted. Okay, we're telling you, and you're not listening. And so what this means is the majority of humanity is not listening to God within. Okay, and it takes those who are to flip it. It is the same thing for yourself individually. You learn it individually, and now you apply it to your life. You see what's happening, and now you change it. You're not to keep flipping states. They're going to be challenged. All right, every single one of them. You're supposed to get those cobwebs off you. I'm a human being. I'm a divine spirit. You know, I admire and respect myself. I'm not going to take this shit anymore. You're not being ugly. You're being firm. You know, I don't think so. You know, I don't. And you laid out, you're being righteous. All right. And you're not being ugly. But we fall into these pits of what we think are moral sins, and they mean nothing. They mean nothing. Okay? The outside, you leave it outside. It has nothing to do with your relationship with God. Okay? You just have a relationship with God, no state, like Him. Imitate your father, admire and appreciate your father, honor thy father and mother, the first commandment. And all goes well for you. All right? In the outside world. Because you see it all as one. And you know. And it's like, that's living the spiritual life. That's melding it together. You're having a good time. But you don't like roller coasters. You like the quiet, steady stream, you know. You might get snagged by a rug, but then you pull it off and keep going. You know, while everybody else is crashing their boats and their all this other stuff. And so that's, you know, the whole idea. If you're living a spiritual life, then you're living a great, wonderful physical life. And if you don't see that, you know, then this is where the spiritual side is important, because it comes first. Okay, so instead of slapping band-aids on symptoms, which is the outside, you treat the cause, okay, which is the inside. You know, what are you thinking? All right. And with things like this inflation and stuff, you know, this is humanity's ego battling back. You know, you can believe me. No, you don't get it yet, do you, bud? You have to believe me, or you're gone. You know, we've reached the end of the road. We've squared off. What's it going to be? And that's the majority of individuals trying to figure out, you know, am I going to be or not to be? It's that great soliloquy of handmaids. It's all there, you know. So the state of belief, you can flip it back that, you know, do sets, do some technique, whatever. It's going to be challenged in the end until you come to appreciate, get that feeling of that little kid kissing your boo-boo after you fell down. Okay, that feeling, that's the feeling you want to nurture and feel all the time. You feel that when you're out in nature. You feel that when you look at the expansive sky and how beautiful it is and how the blue is so gorgeous. You know, at your husband, who's just a magnificent piece of art. He's beautiful. His body's beautiful. His mind is beautiful. You know, he's gorgeous. Your significant other, or whoever. So I hope this helps. You know, it's that feeling that's important, and to apply that feeling to everyone. And if you can't, then you forgive. Okay, that rips it out the heart. And it's like Jesus said, you know, you just keep forgiving. But at some point, there are certain ones that they're supposed to play that role. And by the way, it's not your significant other or family. Even if these gentlemen are in that role, their family can save them. Where the people need to see him better, you know, and something will happen. Who knows what? That's between him and his God. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. But you keep up the love, that feeling towards Justin Trudeau or Schwab and company, or whoever it is that's yanking your chain. So I hope this helps. Blessings to you. And thank you. Thank you for being you.
Try her again, Neil. Go on.
She won't have me.
Then give up the powers.
I can't.
Then give them to me. You wouldn't have the powers, but you'd know what they were. And being a dog, all I want to do is follow orders. I'll do what you tell me to.
Dennis, you're a genius.
Not bad, huh?
I'm sure you'll be amazed. Big fun to be had by everyone. It's up to you. Surely can be done. Young and old are doing it, I'm told. Just one try, and you too will be sold. It's called a freak. They're doing it night and day. Allow us, we'll show you the way. All that pressure got you down, has your head spinning all around. Feel the rhythm, chant the rhyme. Come on along and have a real good time. Like the days of stopping as a boy. Now we're free. Oh, what a joy.